This is an All Ears English podcast, episode 1887. Is that a collectible? Deepen your connection with these 4 English questions. Welcome to the All Ears English podcast, downloaded more than 200 million times. Are you feeling stuck with your English? We'll show you how to become fearless and fluent by focusing on connection, not perfection. With your American hosts, Lindsay McMahon, the English adventurer, and Michelle Kaplan, the New York radio girl, coming to you from Colorado and New York City, USA. To get real-time transcripts right on your phone and create your personalized vocabulary list, try the All Ears English app for iOS and Android. Start your 7-day free trial at allearsenglish.com/app.
People love their collections, whether it's cars, coins, or baseball cards. When you notice that someone has a collection, what can you ask them to deepen your connection in English? Find out today.
Hey there, Michelle. How's everything going today?
Hey, Lindsay. Good. How are you?
Awesome. I'm super excited to be here with you on the microphone as always. What are we talking about today?
All right, Lindsay. Well, I have a question. Do you collect anything?
Oh my gosh, that is a great question. I actually really don't. When I was a kid, I used to collect tennis posters and ski posters, but these days, as an adult, I don't collect anything. What about you?
Yeah, I don't think I really do either. You know what is a common thing? I never really did this, but people collect shot glasses on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
I think people like to collect a lot of things when they travel. My dad loves to collect, and he has an amazing collection of Starbucks mugs from different places.
Oh yeah, that's fun. Yeah, I think mugs are a good thing. We have a few mugs from different places, so I guess that's fun because you're having your morning coffee and you're like, oh yeah, I remember when I went to that place, you know.
Yes, like when I visit my parents, I like look at them. I look at their mugs and I'm like, where do I want to have coffee from today? And it's kind of fun. So,
right. Love that.
So today we're going to talk about collecting things and how you can talk about it. So yeah, like you said, I think as kids, it's kind of common to collect things like baseball cards or rocks or stuffed animals. Stamps is a big one. I collected Beanie Babies. If you remember
yes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there was a whole fad. Do you still have those though as collectors? Those might be worth something now.
I think, you know what it is? I think that they ended up not being worth what people thought they would. I'm not sure, but no, I remember thinking like, wow, my Beanie Babies. And
right.
now, I don't even know where they are, but like maybe it's less common as you get older. I don't know. But I don't have like a specific thing that I collect that I can think of.
Well, the thing is, if you move a lot as an adult, it becomes really hard. It's when I think it's when you stay in one house for a long time, we could get in trouble with with collections, with kind of amassing too much stuff in a way. Collections are a little different from just stuff, which I guess we'll talk about a little bit today, right, Michelle? But I mean, if we move a lot, it becomes really hard to move our collections to different houses. Mm-hmm.
Right. Exactly. You know, I've thought about doing like collecting things like for kids, like, the book, like Goodnight Moon.
Oh yeah. That's super famous.
Yeah. Well, they have Goodnight for, I don't know if it must be from the same brand. I'm not sure actually. Goodnight. And they'll have like Goodnight New York, Goodnight, to different places. So like I started to maybe do that a little bit for my kids, but then It came and went.
Yeah. It's crazy. You have 2 kids now. It's so crazy to hear you say kids, my kids, right? It's so
yes,
crazy.
I have 2. I have a boy and a girl now. Yeah.
It's a milestone in life. You know, you've crossed into that milestone. 2 kids. How has it been, by the way, the transition from 1 to 2? Real quick. Just a real quick side question.
Sure. I mean, I'm sure I'll be like talking about it a lot to sprinkle in things, but briefly, I mean, it's great. I mean, it's fun to watch them together, and it's much harder than but it's kind of cool just like watching like my son making my daughter laugh and so watching them develop that sibling relationship, even though she's just like a baby now. That's cute. But yeah, I'm enjoying it, but there's a lot of running around, and the second child, it's definitely different because you know, it used to be like when my son, like, oh, he's napping.
Right.
And this is he needs this schedule and that schedule. And like, oh, he needs this. And with her, it's like, well, I have to pick him up from school. So I guess you're getting up too.
Yep. That's why I'm convinced that personalities of firstborns are often very different from secondborns. Like my brother, I'm a firstborn and my brother's a second, and we're very different. Like, you know,
I'm second.
Yeah. Just very different personalities. I think maybe the second might be more adaptable, probably, is my guess. But anyways, we'll come back to that another day,
I'll be sharing lots, I'm sure.
And our listeners will have, you know, some ideas and comments to make, because I'm sure a lot of our listeners also have a couple of kids, right?
Yes.
So they can chime in on that. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So exciting stuff. So, but yeah, so let's talk about the vocabulary that can go along with talking about your collections that you might have. So collection, we went over, right? So for example, my sports memorabilia collection is in the basement.
Yes, I love it. Or collectible, right? Something, when we put a bull, it's something that is possible to be done. Right, Michelle?
Right. Right. So this, I think, is more about a formal thing to collect. Like, I feel like it comes in a series. Like, could even be like, remember like those McDonald's Happy Meals toys or something?
Yes, I used to love that stuff.
Me too. Exactly. So like anything that people can collect. But I think of it as like being more of part of a group. Like, oh, this is a collectible. What do you think?
Yeah, something that, you know, that word might be used to set something apart as a set, right? If you want to add more value at a shop and say, this is a collector's item or a collectible.
Oh, collector's item, right.
When I was a kid, I remember I used to always want the Happy Meal, and my dad would always challenge me, and he would say, I'll pay you whatever it was, $5 or $1 at the time, if you would not get a Happy Meal, because he felt like he was just paying for that toy that wasn't worth anything. So he wanted to pay me instead to get the money. So he challenged my thinking as a kid.
What did you choose?
I think it depended on the day.
Okay, that's kind of cool though. Yeah. So, but I know I love those. But yeah, you could say something like, "Oh, check out this Beanie Baby. It's a collectible. I think it may be worth something someday."
Yeah. So when you add, you know, when something is just an item, that's fine. But when you start to say it's a collectible, you start to think value, right? In our minds, that means value, potentially valuable. That's the key point right there.
Exactly. And I think sometimes people collect things just because they like them for fun, but sometimes they do it in the hopes of having that value, making money, like rare coins, vintage items, like albums, things like that.
And it's interesting because I've spent some time around collector's items this fall around my family members. And, you know, it depends on who you try to sell things to. Right. You could have like a gem, for example, that's actually worth a lot of money. And I could try to sell that to someone on the street. They wouldn't pay me $5. But if I went to a dealer who knows what it's worth, they would pay me $10,000. It's so interesting, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay, Michelle, what else do we need to know? Maybe there's a little vocabulary of when collecting can go bad.
Yeah. So the next word is hoard.
Yes. And what do we think about this?
Yeah, so this is a little bit different, but it's exactly what you said when like collecting goes bad. Like you can kind of, it's basically you don't throw anything away. You know, you can use it even as a joke to talk about something you collect. Yes. Right. But it can also be very serious, right? Like, I mean, like, for example, I mean, you can make a joke like, oh, I've been hoarding hand sanitizer since the start of the health crisis.
Right.
Which that's not looked as a positive thing because a lot of people needed that and couldn't get it. Right.
Exactly.
But right.
Yeah, I remember at the beginning of the health crisis, there was no toilet paper and everyone was saying people were hoarding toilet paper. Michelle, here's the question. Have you seen the show Hoarders?
I actually have never seen it, but I've seen like little clips of it. Did you ever watch it?
I've seen clips of it, but I have a claim to fame. So the guy on that show, like the the main host or the guy who invented it, he actually went to my college, so I'm very proud. I didn't know him. He just graduated from my university. But yeah, I mean, this is a big topic, guys, for our listeners. You know, hoarding is a thing. For many people, it is kind of a mental illness, right, that they struggle with. And so it is a serious topic. like, or you could use it more lightly. As Michelle said, I've been hoarding hand sanitizer. You're not actually having a room full of bottles of hand sanitizer, right, Michelle?
Or
you might be. It depends on where you are on the spectrum.
Exactly, right? Like you can use it just to kind of exaggerate. And like, I could say, oh, I need to go to Starbucks. I hoard all their famous mugs, just like kind of in a light way.
Yeah. So guys, decide where you want to use that, how you want to use it. If you are actually around someone who does in fact hoard things, you may want to be careful, right? Michelle is a connection skill. You might want to be careful not using that word lightly. Right.
Exactly. So then, this is a connection skill, like you said. So, what are some things that you can say to people to ask them about this topic?
Yeah, I love this topic for our listeners. For a way to strike up that conversation, you could say, do you collect anything? So write that one down, guys, right? Very simple, very broad.
Exactly. Or ask them about like organizing it. So how do you organize your blank collection, right? Like your baseball card collection. Do you keep it in a binder? Do you put them in frames? Things like that.
Exactly. Or you could go even deeper. You could say, oh, when did you start collecting masks? Or when did you start collecting Starbucks mugs?
Right. And then this one's fun. Oh, do you think your collection will be worth something someday?
Yeah, I love that. Guys, write down those 4 questions for you, because I can imagine this topic coming up, Michelle, if our listeners are being given a tour. Yeah. Let's say they're at a party, right? Someone's party. Right. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're in somebody's house, or maybe you're a house guest also, like maybe you're at and you're kind of looking for ways to open up conversations more. You go into their house and you kind of see, oh, they have a lot of Starbucks mugs, or they seem to have like a whole bunch of cool clocks, or something like that. So because if somebody's collecting something, they usually have something to say about it. They want to talk about it.
No question. This kind of reminds me of the episode we did on looking at someone's photo album and how to fill those gaps, and how important it is to say something specific in those moments, right? Yeah, exactly. I love that. Yeah,
exactly. So let's do a little role play here.
Okay, let's do it.
All right, here we go.
So in this Lindsay, case, I collect coins, right? I collect rare coins. And you, what do you collect?
I collect baseball cards.
Okay, here we go.
All right, here we go. So Lindsay, do you collect anything?
Yeah, actually, I collect rare coins. I can show you my collection next time. What about you?
Yeah, I collect baseball cards. I have collectibles from the Yankees mostly.
Wow. So how do you organize your baseball card collection?
Oh, in binders, but then alphabetically, so I don't lose track. So when did you start collecting rare coins?
I've been collecting them since I was a kid. I have 4 boxes now. Do you think your collection will be worth something someday?
That's the plan. I hope so.
Yeah. I love anything that causes people to go super deep into one topic like this. You know what I mean? We could use the phrase nerd out.
Right. Exactly. I don't think we used hoard in this one, but we got to most things, guys. But yeah, I always think about that kind of thing. Like there's an expert for everything.
Oh my gosh.
Even just like, isn't that bizarre? Like,
so bizarre.
Like for everything, for any, I always think about like for like the, like, okay, I don't know why I'm thinking of this, but like for like public bathroom locks, like there's
so
like,
random,
it's like probably like I don't know, just like, I don't know why that's where I went to in my head. I have no idea. But like, there's like, just like the most random thing you could think of. Like there's like an expert for somebody who knows a lot about it and like can give you advice, like it's just like so
and it's kind of like weird. It's a thing of the past a little bit, right? So recently this fall, like I said, I've been around some family members who have lots of collections, and we've been working with their collections, trying to understand what to do with them. And it's kind of cool because now we're always online, right? We're all online all the time. And if you have a physical collection, something like rocks or mugs or really anything, cars, I mean, things that really are tactile and you can put your hand on it and it means something, and you sit and talk with someone about it. I feel like that might be a lost art that I think is really fulfilling. So guys, it's a connection skill to get someone into talking about their own collection.
Absolutely. I love that. So, all right. Should we go through what we used?
Oh, yeah. Let's do it. Good call. I almost forgot. So what'd you say first, Michelle?
So I said, do you collect anything? Just opening up the conversation.
Yeah. And then I said, I can show you my collection next time. Right.
And then I said, I have collectibles from the Yankees mostly. So like, a more like I guess it's just used in a more formal way.
Yeah, that's interesting. Right. More specifically around something that might have value and that is meant to be collected, right? That collectible. And then, so how do you organize your baseball card collection? Great question, because that's where the idea of nerding out. Someone wants to tell you how they've organized their collection. Guaranteed.
Exactly. And then I just asked you, when did you start collecting rare coins? So I'm asking you for the story. And I bet that this conversation, if we really, continued this role play for a long time, I bet this could really lead to a long conversation with a lot of connection.
Yeah, I totally think it could. And then finally, I said, do you think your collection will be worth something someday? Right. So these are all the key questions, guys. Write these down. And the key takeaway for today, Michelle, what is it? Where should we leave our listeners?
Well, if someone collects something, it opens a huge door for connection, right? So stories about how they got the items, where they got it. Maybe if it's from someone's travel adventures, that can lead you to talking about your travels, right? Like, why does somebody collect something? There's just so much. It's not just like, oh, cool, blah, 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 right? There's like a whole story. So exactly. Really look for those opportunities.
Yes.
And also look for opportunities to share your own things you collect.
Yeah. I mean, you want to go below the surface with people, right? I mean, normally this is how we get to know people. And, they may seem like a person that just doesn't have anything interesting going on, but then you find out they have this rare coin collection or weird things, right? Interesting and weird things. You can connect around that. Such good stuff, Michelle. Good
Absolutely.
stuff.
All right, Lindsay. Well, this was fun, and I will see you in the next one.
All right. Talk to you very soon. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to All Ears English. Would you like to know your English level? Take our 2-minute quiz. Go to allearsenglish.com/fluency score. And if you believe in connection, not perfection, then hit subscribe now to make sure you don't miss anything. See you next time.